Dystopian novels often get credited with predicting the future, but when the authors actually wrote these books, they did not do so with the intent of predicting the future. In fact, in many ways, even though the books are set in the future, they are not actually about the future. Instead, these books are about the actual issues that were happening at the time that they were written. When it came to George Orwell writing 1984, he was inspired by things that he saw with his own eyes. And the Big Brother he was writing about was not about some futuristic surveillance. It was about the surveillance that was happening right then and there in his own country. And when Octavia Butler was writing Parable of the Sower, she wasn't writing about some hypothetical future disaster. She was writing about the issues that were plaguing the world at that time. And when Aldous Huxley wrote Brave New World, he was writing about the patterns that he was noticing throughout his life. Specifically, this rise in consumption, which he believed was leading to a loss of individuality within society. And though The Handmaid's Tale feels like it is written about 2025 America, Atwood was very much inspired by the movements that were taking place in the 80s. Specifically, the Christian and far-right movements that were attacking women's rights, which is what the Handmaids in this book really represent. The issue is that far too often when we see dystopian stories like these, we often see them as a warning about some hypothetical future. And because we convince ourselves that it is about some fictional world that doesn't actually exist, it becomes a lot easier to toss those messages away. And it's because these messages were ignored that the stories were able to become prophetic. And it was with this same motivation that I wrote my newest book, In the Algorithm We Trust. Not to predict the future of America, but rather I wrote this book to highlight the issues that are actually facing America today. Specifically, this book tackles 3 issues. The first is the way that our perceptions of reality have been completely manipulated by algorithms, by the information that we are fed on social media apps like this. The second is the way that political divisiveness and extremism in the world today often leads us to ignore the very obvious things we see in front of us and to buy into very obvious propaganda. Because it's easier to have your opinions validated than have to change the way that you view the world. And the third issue that is discussed in this book is the way that we as a society have agreed to sacrifice so much of our freedom in exchange for quick and easy entertainment. Like the dystopian stories that I talked about at the beginning of this video, I have decided to wrap these issues up in a dystopian story. A story where an all-powerful artificial intelligence, simply known as the algorithm, and its creator Lamar T. Haddington have taken complete control of America. Now every person in America at birth has a data gathering device implanted in their ear, which grants the algorithm access to their every thought and their every desire. The algorithm then uses this data to control and manipulate every aspect of a person's life. It controls their education, their friends, their jobs, their romantic partners. And any person who disobeys the algorithm loses all of their freedom and is publicly tortured. But for those who stay loyal to the algorithm, even when they witness the atrocities that it commits, the algorithm rewards them with their perfect job, their perfect friends, their perfect match. And if this sounds like a book you might be interested in, it is available anywhere you buy books.